I want to share with you a realization I came to while teaching myself to day trade for the past 7 months. And that is the stock market is not your friend. And I think that's a good thing. You know that one saying where it's like, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer? Well, that's exactly the relationship I have with the stock market. For example, today I took a trade and I lost. But at the end, I was happy. I was ecstatic, actually. And you're probably like, why the heck would you be happy losing money? It's because the stock market helped me realize faults that I had within myself and confirmed something that I need to work on. And you're like, well, how the heck was the stock market able to do that? Well, this is what happened. This morning, I got on the charts before the market even opened. I marked out my levels. I looked at the higher time frames and I set my bias. And, I'm like, okay, today it looks like we're going to be bullish. If you don't know what that means, it just basically means the trend's going up. So I'm like, okay, today's going to be bullish. I go down to the lower time frame, and once the stock market opened, it was a little choppy at first, and then I see a perfect bearish setup. And I'm like, wait, this is a great trade I could take. Um and it completely passed my mind that I said, like the trend is showing bearish. And at that time, on the higher time frame, you could see that there was a pullback. And that was that bearish movement. And instead of being like, oh, this is still a bullish market, we're not going to take this trade, I decided to go for it. So I ended up entering on that bearish pullback. And as I pressed enter, I soon realized that this trade is going to go against me. And what do you know? I'm looking at it, and it's consolidating a little bit. And I'm like, this is gonna go against me. And at that moment, I decided to do something I told myself I would never do, and that was to exit to trading. And at the end, I lost like $54, but I kept my setup, and I looked at it, and I'm like, okay, I originally said that my bias for the day is bullish, and I looked and I waited, and about 30 minutes later, it hit my stop loss. I was ecstatic. I was like, yeah. And I was happy because if, even if it hit my target, I would have been more confused. And that's because I knew I was in the wrong and that I shouldn't have taken that trade. Would have been even more confused if it hit my target and I I'm just suspecting something else is going to happen. So in seeing that, I realized that the market helped me realize I do not trust myself. Under stressful conditions, I do not trust myself. And this isn't an issue just on the charts. This is an issue I have had for years. Imagine being in school and time again, you take a test, you review with your teachers, and a common thing that many people have told you is, Maya, you didn't do bad, but how is it that you are getting the hard questions right and the easy questions wrong? And I look at myself, I'm like, that's a great question. I don't know. And this is something for years I have just bypassed and didn't think too much into it. But as time went on, and over the past 7 months, teaching myself how to day trade, this has been a common issue that has come to surface again. And it stems from the idea of me overcomplicating things that don't need to be that complex. And even back testing this, I would go on the charts, take trades, and I would do the same thing where I look for my higher time, go on the higher time and look for my bias, and then go to lower time frame. And every single time when I'm just back testing, it works. And I'm like, okay. And in the end, it's something that made me happy because it made me realize that this is not a hard fix. It'd be different if I was always wrong, but I'm right. Not to have an ego or anything, but yeah, I am right. My original intent or my original bias is right. And this is only one out of the many things the market has helped me realize, certain flaws that I have. And other things are easier to correct than others. But once correcting those issues and seeing how it reflected in your trading, I realized it was making me a better overall trader, but also a better overall person when it comes to growing outside the charts, when it comes to being consistent, um, and to having discipline and things like that. And I think that's a good thing to realize at the end of the day, and why I believe trading is so important in building your character. So, if any of you are experiencing something like that, don't shy away from it. Take it take it as a sign of something you might need to change about yourself and reflect to become a better person. And if you have gone through something like that, let me know in the comment section below. But yes, that leads me to my overall thought, which is the market is not your friend, it's your frenemy. And you want to keep it close and never shy away from things it helps you realize about your own character. Because at the end of the day, it'll help you become a better overall trader and also help you grow down the long run. That is all I have to say for today. I will see you all tomorrow, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.